Hey guys, what's going on? So we are we're early today because I was extremely late on Wednesday. So to balance out the world, I've made this a little bit earlier. So I'm not sure who's in right now. I see that Graham and um, Brian. Forgive me, Kilco. I don't know why. Brian, right? Fuck. I'm terrible at names, man. I can never remember. It's always the handles that always get me confused. So I apologize if I can't remember. Yeah, Brian, beautiful. Oh, my memory. Donald, good afternoon. Puffs is Steve. Some Dixon's rye. Nice. I haven't had their rye yet. Graham's drinking coffee. I'm drinking water today. I think what I'm gonna do is Fridays are gonna be like a detox sort of day. Just because for the majority of the week we're doing the happy hours, participating in the normal streams. I think Fridays are just going to be no alcohol day for young Vito. So water today, which is more than acceptable, I think. So, for the most part, I think we were all in the Whiskey Tribe dry weeks end of dry week stream, which is kind of cool. Steve's it's the neck pour, so I can't say much about it. Yeah, and you know what? That's one thing that I've always been kind of very curious about is just how how everyone handles the neck pour. I know Roy talks about the neck pour all the time. I've begun to sort of take the neck pour as just like I'm just drinking whiskey, and then like pour two or three like a day later or after a bit of time to kind of that's my when I will sort of explore the whiskey further. But yeah, Donald's gonna pour some Yoichi. Nice. Yeah, I didn't take part in the dry week, obviously. You guys know that I was not, but I might do it next time. Maybe. I think I might do that. Neck pour. Dry week. I guess the next dry week would actually end up being in September, right? May, June, July, or I guess end of August. End of August, early September, probably. Every week is dry week for me, Donald. Yeah. Yeah, for some people you have to maintain that sort of a certain level of sobriety for work and or just you're busy, right? So yeah. What did who was in the chat last night with us? I know Donald was. Graham, I think, was with us as well. Graham picked up Glenbergie 18 Old Malt Cast 50. Should be a night. Ooh. And Bareface 111. Yeah, I still haven't actually. I don't think I've had Bareface yet. But hey, Chris Bourbon Sane, what's going on, buddy? We gotta do a stream together soon. I gotta just like hijack your stream because you're so busy all the time now. Just gotta like pop in and just bother you. Miss you, buddy. Yeah, so Bareface, I don't think I've had the the first standard release yet of Bareface, but and not for any reason other than I haven't I haven't bought it. I don't know why I haven't. There's no good reason why I haven't. I know it's $39. I don't know why, jeez. And I just bought like a really expensive Black Adder. So I kind of blew my budget a little bit for the foreseeable future. But maybe I'll if I come into a little bit of extra funds, I can maybe scrounge $40 and pick up a bottle and actually kind of like start upping my bottle count again, because I've gotten, especially because when quarantine started, I started going through all my bottles, and I bottled down, I think 12 or 13 bottles that were near the heel of the bottle. So it doesn't like I was downing the entire bottle, but the last like inch and a half or so of juice, I was just like, you know what, it's time to go. So I nearly halved my collection. So I think right now I have about 24, 25 bottles left, which is still like not a small a small amount of whiskey. It's a fairly large amount, but I've noticed now that I've diminished the options. So like I'm down to Islay, a couple of Canadian, a couple of Irish, and like 2 bourbon. And like for if I want a Highland, I have no Highland whiskey. All I have are like my sample whiskeys, which I get a fair amount of variance, but like there's such small amounts that I feel less compelled to go back for a second dram of it or a second pour, and I just like pour a little bit, forget about it for like a couple of months, and then go back to it. So I need to actually start like kind of broadening my bottle collection a little bit, just so that when you're craving like a good amount of specific region, you have that. So yeah. Catch up on the chat. Donald bought some Aquamore 10.1 and Diplomat to go. And we were talking about that on Wednesday. I really want to get into rums, and Swami did actually mention a couple. What did he say? Kirk and Sweeney 12, Eldorado 15, Foursquare, Cask Strength, and Plantation collection. So yeah, definitely. I definitely want to start getting into a little bit of rum as well. Graham is also wishing we could snag a Black Adder or 2 around here. That independent bottle just not. Yeah, I have a sample of Black Adder raw cask. It's a 2001 Lechaig 17 year. It's a single hogshead cask at 58.3%. And yeah, I love like just the char bits in there. I think it's such a cool presentation, and it's so freaking amazing. So the bottle of Black Adder that I picked up is a 13-year-old Bunnahabhain Moyne raw cask, and yeah, Bunnahabhain is one of my favorite distilleries, and the Moyne Bunnahabhains especially have always been stellar. The Moyne Bordeaux, the Moyne Oloroso, which is probably, I'd say, top 2 whiskeys. It's a battle between the Bunnahabhain Moyne Oloroso and the Redbreast Stream Cask 32 for like top whiskey I've ever had. And I'm really sad that I don't have any more of that Moyne Oloroso, because fuck, it was so good. Graham, no, I wasn't sipping that Lechaig. I was sipping a Lechaig 18 that I have a sample of. This guy here, Lecheg 18 in Sherry. My camera won't focus because obviously, but yeah, that's what I was having last night. Donald with the. I'm gonna start calling Donald my Irish consigliere. He always has like the craziest Irish whiskeys. He says the Writer's Tears cast strength also has a ton of the char bits in it too. That's cool. I didn't know anyone, and I didn't realize. Well, no, hold on. Let me form a sentence first. I was unaware that there were distilleries doing distillery releases with char in them. I always thought that was again, that's a bit of naivety on my part, but I always assumed that it was more the independent bottlers that would do that. But if Writer's Tears has that, that's cool. I'd be curious to see who else does that outside of like. I would think that's probably some bourbon distilleries do that. But actually, Chris is in the chat. He might know. So Graham's got a beautiful day on the East Coast. Yeah, better than what we have in Toronto right now. It is foggy and rainy, but not cold, which is good. Actually, what's the temperature right now? It's 14 degrees here. 14 maple units of temperature. But yeah, definitely foggy. I think it stopped raining, but it was raining for a while. I don't see any drops on the balcony, but yeah. So it's gonna probably be a little bit of a short one today, but I will put the link for the StreamYard in the chat if anyone wants to come on and chat for a little bit. Hey Nathan, what's going on, buddy? Just because I do have to go and pick up my me and my roommate's kitchen island. We finally secured one, so we got to go pick that up today. And I think I have to leave around 5 or 5:30. So, or whenever my roommate gets back, so that we can go. We're going together. But if anyone wants to pop in and we can have a nice chill Friday conversation about whatever, more than welcome. Yeah, Graham, weather's always nuts at this time of year, man. Like it was snowing. We had like a mini blizzard a couple days ago and a freezing warning as well. So it's always fun. Yeah, Donald, Irish consigliere. I'm gonna give you that's you're my Irish consigliere. Irish Yoda is cool too, but the consigliere sounds fancy. So, oh boy. And yeah, what else is going on? Oh well, I guess we didn't really talk about it last night, but I set up some shelving behind me so I can actually, like, it's not just a white wall. And unfortunately, I can't get the exposure right, so you can see. I'll figure it out eventually, even if I have to buy like a new camera or something. But this is my Glenfiddich Winter Storm. It's my 21-year-old Glenfiddich that's partially aged in ice wine casks from Peller Estates. Yeah, I got the Whiskey Tribe, Crowded Barrel, Scotch Test Dummies, some knickknacks up here. So just kind of filling up the space, which make it a little more my own, right? Graham, did Hayes make it through the whole live? Yeah, he came. I don't know if you. How long did you watch the After Dark? Because we closed it up. It was about 3 hours in, so it was close to 1 o'clock when it was Jason from the Mash and Drum, Dan and I closed shop last night. But yeah, we Dan did the entire live. We're slowly corrupting him. He used to like be in bed at like 10, like 9:30, 10. That's why we ended up actually having to, we moved the normal cast strength live streams from 10 Eastern to 8 so that Dan could, function as a human being. Now he's pouring full drams in a big boy Glencairn, staying up till 1 o'clock. We fully corrupted him. And it's a small feeling of accomplishment that we did that. Oh yeah, so you did go to bed. I wasn't sure how at what point you left. Yeah, no man, don't be sorry. Because you're 2 or 3 hours ahead of us. So yeah, it would have been about 12, I guess, that you bailed out at your time. So yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, man. Because I would have been in bed too. If I wasn't streaming last night, I would have been in bed. So, yeah. So I have another three episodes to go before I finish Community. I believe so. Oh no, wait. Is there 6 seasons? No, I'm on season 6. Yeah. So I have 2 or 3 more episodes to go, and I'm struggling to get through the last little bit of it. It's just not what it was, and it kind of sucks because it seems like they're trying really hard to keep it. They tried really hard to keep it going, but yeah, very very meh, very very meh. No, Donald. Peaky Blinders is probably going to be next. I think I'm going to start that either tomorrow or Sunday. What's the weather? Oh, the weather is actually supposed to be really nice tomorrow, so maybe not tomorrow. Sunday's supposed to be rainy, so I might start Peaky Blinders on Sunday, and then I'll talk a little bit about it on Monday's stream. Which Star Trek, Brian? I'm a huge Next Generation fan. I'd get home from elementary school and it would always be on PBS. I think it was PBS or Fox, one of those channels, and I'd always catch the odd episode here or there, very segmented, and I really want to actually sit down and watch it start to finish. I think that would be kind of cool to do. Yeah, Next Generation, you said, yeah. For a good laugh, Toast of London is on Netflix. Interesting. Graham, I haven't watched the Picard series. I was waiting for it to just complete, and I was just gonna binge it. I'm not huge on following stuff. Not that I'm huge. I do a bad job of watching serial shows that get released, every week. I always forget, and also I don't have cable. So yeah, so I'm gonna binge it. What was I doing? I was going to look Toast of London, a Donald recommendation. After a divorce and fatal career move, a classically trained British stage actor navigates single life with his odd roommate and takes on horrid jobs. Done. Added to the list. 1 season? 3 seasons! Holy smokes! 7 episodes each. Seemingly. 7, 6, and 6. Yeah, easy. All right, I added it to the list. I'll get to it eventually. Picard's on Netflix? Is Picard on Netflix, or are you talking about Next Gen, Brian? Next Generation is on Netflix. 7 seasons, eh? Cool. Yeah. Brian just found it. Just added it to the list as a reminder as well. I typed in Picard, and the second hit was The Witcher, which was great too. I really enjoyed The Witcher, and I had never played the video games, so I'm sure there was a lot that went over my head and stuff that was that was not that was skipped over when they made the series, or I guess the first season. But I thought it was really well done, and I really like Henry Cavill. I think he does a fantastic job. Portraying Geralt, because I know a little bit, like, there's always the memes and like clippets and stuff like that, and I thought he did a really good job at just embodying and putting it into live action. So Greg's working. Hey, congratulations, you're back at work. Yeah, Kent, I was talking with my manager yesterday, so we're just waiting in Ontario for the plan to roll out, which probably won't be for another couple of months, where essentially malls, because I work in a mall, I work for Casper, that's inside of a mall, so the malls have to open up, and I think the current plan is that they're going to open up malls and have 25% capacity for people in the mall, and then each individual store has their own capacities that they have to patrol. So yeah, I'm excited to get back to work, and I'm really happy that Greg's back at work. If it had been up to me, truthfully, I probably wouldn't have stopped working. Like, the store that we work in is an extremely small store. You can only have so many people in it to begin with. I think, masks, sanitizer, and limited people inside the store would have been just fine. But, I'm not upset at the whole situation, because we are doing the right thing. But had they given the choice, I probably still would have been working. Peter White, welcome in, sir. And you're seeing that there's 2 bottles of Peaky Blinders left at the LCBO. I need to see this bottle. And I think I looked it up the other day too, but I already forgot. Ah, yes. It's only $31. It's actually not that bad. Yeah, there's 2 at Queen's Quay and Yonge. But then again, like, can the LCBO's inventory really be trusted? Like, really, can it be? So I don't know. But yeah, definitely for $31, I'm sure that's a steal, like Peter said. So yeah, Donald, give him a call. Might as well check it out. All right, guys, give me 1 second. I'm just gonna go refill the water. Ugh. Oh boy. So, yeah, Nathan's asking how the Peaky Blinders whiskey. Peter's probably writing up something right now. I think he's the only one here that's had it. Yeah. Oh, here's something kind of. Does anyone remember the band Sky? From the 90s. It's very obscure. Two albums, actually. They only released two albums, one in 99 and one in 2007. That's hilarious. But the other night, I was laying in bed and the song came in my head, and I just started humming it. And I was like, "Where the out of nowhere?" I hadn't heard the song in years and years and years, and just for whatever reason, it popped into my head, and I was like, "Oh man!" So like, I spent a couple of minutes trying to like form up the lyrics to try and remember and try to search up what song it was and who sang it, and I finally remembered. And it's curious if anyone else sort of remembers them. Probably not, because like I said, they only made two albums. But what I'll do is I'll play the song. Oh, Donald's had it too. It's the typical fruit and toffee and doesn't have much of the grain harshness. And there's a lot of... Oh, interesting. Huh. Donald, if you give them a call and they have to... Maybe that's worth a purchase for $30. Maybe. Okay, so here's the song. I'm going to play it. I'm just going to play a couple seconds of it just because like I don't want YouTube to get upset at me. But it has such like a kind of like a rocking sort of like funky bass line that I pulled out my bass this morning and started to learn it. And it's such a silly old school, not even old school, it's just a silly 90s sort of pop band. We were talking about this last night, pop bands, and I don't know why I didn't bring this up, but yeah, it's the song is called Some Kind of Wonderful by Sky, SKY. If anyone wants to look it up and give it a listen yourselves, it's definitely a guilty pleasure, 100%. Just like those old school. Yeah, Nathan, exactly. Walking the halls, holding hands with your middle school girlfriend. Yeah, and the lyrics are exactly that. Let me pull up the lyrics. I came upon my crossroads yesterday, met her on a ship just west of Eyeball Bay. We ate fish and we listened to some old-time rock and roll. She said, "You can call me baby if you let me hold your soul." But it's because she's wonderful, the guys, they look her way. She's some kind of big shot. And here's the best. Here is the best. The chorus is fantastic. She's some kind of wonderful. She makes a mean steak and she's an eyeful. she's my my baby. She's some kind of wonderful to me. uh she makes a mean steak and she's an eyeful. Just absolutely fantastic lyricism right there. Grand Funk did some kind of wonderful. I don't know if that's if it's a remake or not. I'm actually curious now if it is, because I've actually Grand Funk. Let's see. No. Not even close of the same. Yeah. Yeah, not even close. I just remember the song now. I don't know why I didn't, it wasn't clicking the way that song plays. But yeah. Yeah, well, it depends on what you're in the mood for, Peter. Like, okay, so for me, some kind Skies Some Kind of Wonderful is just pure nostalgia for me. Just that 90s sort of poppy, weird, lovey-dovey sort of thing. Very guilty pleasure, very nostalgic. The Grand Funk Railroad, Some Kind of Wonderful, is if you want to listen to some real music. Oh, Weetabix, Jason. Oh my God. Oh, Weetabix. And Jesus Christ, where was it? The tagline that Dave sent us last night is absolutely fantastic. We're definitely gonna have to really hammer down a Weetabix stream for sure. That's definitely a thing. It was great. It was great having you on last night and talking, Jason. It was a great time. We definitely have to do it again. And I actually see that you and Alan are doing a stream. I think it's next week, for beginner Scotch for a bourbon drinker and bourbon for a Scotch drinker. So that's something that we should all make a point of watching and joining in on the conversation there, because that's shut up, stupid Xbox. And yeah, because those are always interesting conversations, because it's very varied who you ask what's proper for or what you normally suggest for a Scotch drinker or a bourbon drinker heading in the opposite direction. So Donald called the Queen, the LCB, and they confirmed they have one of the Peaky Blinders in stock. Do you want it, Donald? If you want it, I will let you have it. Because I don't even know if I'll be able to get down to Queen's Quay. I mean, I could probably call ahead, but it's work. Anyone had Writer's Tears Double Oak? Thinking of grabbing it. I missed the GD Cognac cask. I haven't. Donald's probably had the Writer's Tears. Of course he has. Oh no, he's talking about the Peaky Blinders. I thought he was commenting on the Writer's Tears Double Oak. Oh, email. Get out of here, PayPal. Don't need any of your nonsense. Donald, have you had the Writer's Tears Double Oak? My Irish Consigliere. Let's see what he says. And he's probably already commented too. StreamYard tends to be a little bit delayed when delivering comments from YouTube to StreamYard. Wonderful. I prefer to the cognac cask. I need to get my hands on some good Irish. Hey, Jeffrey, what's going on, buddy? I'm gonna pop the link in again, guys. Since it's been kind of lost in the chat, if anyone wants to come in for a little bit, hang out, share what you might be drinking. As I said, I'm drinking some water, but more than welcome to come on. I'm probably gonna do this be on for another half hour or so. My roommate just texted me saying he was going to be home around 5. So then once he's home, we're going to go pick up our island. So I will not be doing this for the typical like hour and a half, 2 hours that we normally run. Nathan, I don't know if there's very much. I don't know if there's any whiskey that's worth $40 more. Like if you were to ask me, is Ardbeg 10 for sorry, is Ardbeg Uigeadail $40? Is the $40 more for Ardbeg Uigeadail better than the 10? Ah, fuck, that's a bad example because of course it's better. Well, there goes the hole in my logic. Jeffrey doesn't even know what kind of beans he's drinking. Jeffrey's drunk. Clearly, Jeffrey is drunk. Yeah, the Peter nailed like the Writer's Tears is $170 Canadian, and I think Nathan's in San Antonio, I believe. It's $90 in the States, so that's still like an extra $40-$50 more that we're paying after the conversion, probably a bit more, actually, if I'm not mistaken. I'd ask Siri, but I'd probably activate some of your Siris. Actually, you know what? Hey Siri, how much is 40? Well, that's the wrong question. $90 American. $90 American and Canadian.
That would be $126.98.
So it's 30, 40, 40, 45 more dollars. Nathan says as long as you're not drinking pork and beans. Okay. I love beans. Like I have a couple of cans of barbecue beans in the pantry. Just there when I crave it, because just nothing like cracking open just a dirty can of just barbecue beans and putting it into a pot, warming it up, and then just spooning beans in, just like as a guilty thing. It's wonderful. Jeremy, what's going on, buddy? We haven't talked in such a long time. Hope everything's good with you, buddy. Nice to see you. Grab the Writer's Tears Double Oak if you can. Yeah. Nathan, I would trust our Irish consigliere and get the Double Oak. Definitely. I know what coffee is going in me mouth. Oh, where exactly in Colombia? Oh, fancy, very fancy, Jeffrey. Very, very fancy. Nathan, you know what I'm gonna do? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to do. I'm gonna make beans one day, and maybe drink them, just just to piss some people off. Just to see what you guys would say. I already know what you guys are gonna say, but I think it'll be funny. Triggered. Oh boy. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say something. I was gonna comment on something, but I kind of forgot already. Live them dreams. Oh my god. I'm not gonna let Nathan dictate how I consume my beans. So what's going on? Still talking about the Writer's Tears cognac, I think. Yeah. Hope everyone's still doing good. Now there's a couple of people from Toronto in the chat. Graham earlier. I'm not too sure if Graham Young's still in the chat, but he was saying that out east it's nice and sunny, and in Toronto, I was saying that how miserable and dreary it is. So hopefully tomorrow's supposed to be nicer weather, partly cloudy. I think about 17, 16 degrees. But yeah, life would be just so much better if the weather would just kind of cooperate, in my opinion. Donald, is it pouring where you are? Well, you're on the east end. Out over here at Weston and Lawrence, it's not raining. So down in the core. I know you're down in the core, so it looks. I have a clear view of the skyline. Definitely looks a lot foggier where you are. Well, in that direction. So, oh, the Amrit rum cask Peter has. Interesting. Now, Peter, it's a tad sweet. Is that from the neck pour, or are you commenting commenting on like a couple of pours? I've having let it sort of air a little bit, because I found that the Glenfiddich Fire and Cane, when I first opened it, was fairly sweet because of the rum finish as well. But I found over time it kind of became a little bit more subtle. So curious if how long you've had it and how many kind of pours you've tried it. Well, Jeremy is saying that he found it pretty sweet. So I'm curious. That would be my sort of thought that it might get less sweet as it oxidizes a little bit more. But Amrit is just sneaky, man. They're a sneaky distillery. Very good, and a lot of their experiments. What do I have? I have a double cask Amrit sample. Smells great. this is at 46%. This that double cask. The Irishman 17. I feel like when we had James Neal, who I think the Irishman is part of Beam Centauri, and best of my memory, we because we are asking them a couple questions on like availability of certain things. And I don't recall, I can't remember if Irishman is Beam Centauri or not, but I don't recall seeing anything there. Yeah, Peter, the intermediate sherry, Rob from Whiskey in the Six gave me a little bit of the intermediate sherry. I forget which one exact. Actually, I think I still have the bottle. He gave me one. Yeah, the Amaret intermediate sherry there, and and that was my first experience with Amaret, and I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed that. The Port Nova I haven't had, but I'd be curious to try it as well. Jeremy was saying in regards to the Amaret rum. The Amaret rum, yeah, the Amaret rum that he's had it open for a week. It's good pour, not too sweet in my opinion, but it's all rum. Yeah, I'm curious to see if a little bit of time does it better for Peter, because Peter was saying that it's a bit too sweet. But oh, Peter, was that your bottle? Yeah, there was a bit of a heel left in it, and Rob was just like, "Here, man, like just take it and enjoy." And I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." Generosity kind of makes its way around after a while. So Irishman's a Walsh whiskey. Oh, yeah, that's right. It is, isn't it? Tyrconnell. Yeah, the Moscato is supposed to be coming. Yeah, that's right. I'm excited for the Tyrconnells that he was teasing us with on when was that? That was 3 weeks ago. I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago. And yeah, and what was it? It was the Kilbeggan rye. I think it's a limited edition rye. Sorry, guys. That's only apparently like I think 15 or 20% rye. Curious what if and when that ever gets to Canada. I would definitely pick that up. Just have like a heavily rye influenced Irish whiskey. It would be kind of cool to try. James was saying that it was that it's very delicious. Oh my god, what's going on? Yeah, very intrigued with some of the stuff coming. And Waterford, that's another Irish distillery that I'm really excited to see if distribution ends up coming to Canada. I think it probably already has out west, but I haven't been keeping track of it as much as I probably should be. Taikanal 16 bourbon cask was a real favorite. Yeah, I gotta get into some of the harder to get bottles. Taikanal 16. Kilbeggan Rye 30% rye. That's right. Yeah. I knew that it wasn't all rye. The assumption at first was that it was an all rye Irish because it's Kilbeggan Rye. You'd almost be inclined to assume that it was all rye, but it is not. But it still has that rye influence, which is nice. So. All right, boys. Well, if give it one last shot, if anyone's around, I got maybe another 15 or so minutes. If you guys want to pop in, share what you're drinking, or just have a little chat, more than welcome. As I try to flounder and kind of come up with other things to discuss. They couldn't call it a single pot still because of the 30% rye. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Sorry, fucking itchy. Any bikers in the chat? Like, not when I say bikers, like bicycles, not motorcyclists. I've been debating whether or not it's worth it to get like a bike, like a road bike, or if I should just get like a cheap mountain bike. Not even a mountain bike, just like a cheaper sort of cruising bike. Because I want to get into a little bit more, not long distance, but definitely I want to get into biking once like the weather kind of clears up, and just go biking around Toronto. But I'm curious if anyone else does has like, go for like biking or whatever, however you want to call it, and if you have any advice on like maybe like bike styles and stuff like that, because I always had mountain bikes as a kid growing up. I was always like, oh, yeah, that's the cool thing to have. I don't want anything with like thin wheels for cruising, because thin wheels kind of are sissy, right? And when you're a young kid. That was a Norco mountain bike that used to commute to work, and it was wonderful. Jeremy, biking in Toronto. Well, there's a lot of trails. Like there's the Humber Trail for biking that I think goes all the way down to the Lakeshore, and then you have the whole Lakeshore path as well, which is typically pretty busy, and I'm sure it's probably going to be even busier over the next like however long this lasts. But there's places that you can kind of escape into and have a little bit of an easier time getting around on the bike. Well, yeah, and that's Donald puts. Yeah, that's the thing. Is like I would probably stay off of the streets. So the potholes and streetcar tracks make it almost necessary to have a mountain bike. 100%. I completely agree with you there. But yeah, I would probably stay more on like the trails. Occasionally coming up to the the side, like the street. But yeah, I probably wouldn't be doing a lot of like the majority of my time on a bike on roads and whatnot. Or really anything. The Norco mountain bike, yeah, it's something that I would probably have to to take a look into, see what's available, and go from there. But yeah, that's definitely something that like I said, I really want to start getting into, and because like I've been going for walks, and walks are pretty freaking boring in my opinion. I don't know. I'm not a walker. But I've been trying to. For the last month, I think I've gone out walking at least 3 times a week for like an hour or two, and I don't mind it, but I don't know. I'd like to kind of go a little bit faster. I just want to go fast, guys. All right, boys. I think I hear my roommate getting home. So I'm going to go get ready and go get my kitchen island so that we can install it and set it up and potentially actually produce some content. I might actually do like some cocktail episodes, some basic ones, do some experimenting. I know what is it? I want to do old fashions, whiskey gingers, like the basic stuff. Nothing too crazy. How to Drink does the crazy cocktails, and I think he does a great job at it, obviously. But yeah, so I'm gonna go do that, and everyone have a safe and wonderful weekend. All the best to you and families. We'll see you Monday at 4:00. Cheers.